I've got a few things we can start the discussion off with this evening. I think I
Okay.
might have already asked Centre this question this week, but I'm never going to ask him again with Sam as well. If you could only eat either land meat, so your chicken, your beef, pork, lamb, or fish, what would you choose to eat for the rest of your life? And if you choose one, if you choose to eat fish, you can't eat meat from land ever again.
Land meat. That's what I'm going for.
Well, because the reason why I asked Centre, expecting him to perhaps sway more towards the fish, is because he loves fish so much.
Nah, bro. Meat. I love meat even more. That doesn't sound good.
What's the national meat of Spain is the pig.
I mean, pig. Yeah, let's see.
Can you imagine not being able to have a sausage?
There's so many different types as well. I mean, when you're talking about sausages,
I'm more on the steak side.
I don't know about Spain. In Spain, it must be ridiculous. I've had some of the Spanish sausages. They're not that appetizing. The blood one, the ones that are a bit chewy.
I was like, you should be going on I'm a Celeb.
Which ones are chewy, you say? Spanish ones?
Yeah, so not all of them, obviously. There's one of them that had like a string running through the middle of it. It had a bit of string running through the middle of it.
Anyway, as much as I love sushi,
I mean, all of them do, right? But that's the thing. So I don't know which ones are you talking about. But
you used to get sent them, and they have they're like powdered on the outside. They're like, I don't know what they've been rolled in. Yeah, they've been rolled. I don't know if it's mold, maybe actually. Like it's a bit of white on the outside.
Oh, fuet. Okay. You mean fuet, but that's not cooked. I mean, that's eaten as it is. All right.
Do you like that then?
Yeah, fuet. Yeah, I love it, mate.
Was it fermented?
If you give it another shot, you'll like it. I'm sure.
While I'm just chatting, send in the group chat a picture of fuet so Sam can see what it is. But just on the discussion of fish as well, what do you think? What is your general opinion on fish, Sam? Like,
I don't have
as
much
creatures. There's a lot of them out there.
Well, as creatures,
yeah. Because if you think about the sea, we haven't. Think about where you've travelled in your life. How big land is. The UK. You've barely been everywhere in the UK. Now think about like the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific. We have fish out there. There's your sausage.
There we go. There's your sausage. Yeah.
But the ocean's 70. Well, the world is 70% ocean, right?
Yeah.
And
but these fish are like they're alive in that.
Well, the argument is humans came from water.
Yeah.
Well, that's where life started.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so massive if there's water on Mars, because there could be life in it. Imagine a little Martian shark.
They've actually been talking about that in the news this week, haven't they? Found that they're thinking they might have aliens. Anyway, welcome to the Pixel Player Podcast, episode 7, featuring myself, George or Fevanova NFT on Twitter.
Centre or Ratpinat _ on Twitter.
Sam or Skipper NFT on Twitter.
And it's currently basically 20 to 7 on a Tuesday evening. We're approaching a very tantalising Champions League night as well. We've got Tottenham fighting for their position in the competition.
Any position.
Yeah, everyone in that group, which is it Group D? Yeah, Group D can finish anywhere. So that's exciting. And I've seen the videos of the Marseille fans popping off some fireworks outside the Spurs hotel. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, well.
Not already.
Yeah, at 1 a.m. in the morning and at 4 a.m. And actually on the video, I think, watch it later because I sent it to you on the group chat, but they actually point the fireworks they're not just pointing them in the sky. The fireworks are kind of like exploding by the hotel windows. So, yeah, it's going to be. And also, was it Marseille haven't won at home in a prolonged, period of time.
You're saying
so
that like
Dr. Tottenham's been trending this week, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it should be a comfortable win. We got no Richarlison to bang 2 headers in this week, though.
Yeah.
Comfortable win, same as the Bournemouth one. I think that was
Comfortable.
that was not comfortable.
Anything but comfortable.
So I think if you ask any Tottenham fan, the definition of Spursy is it gets your blood running for no reason.
Yeah, you never do it
That's
the easy
what-
way.
That's what happened against Bournemouth.
Gets you sweating throughout.
Did you watch all of that game?
Right?
I watched it all. Yeah, I watched it all. And I've
So you
seen
went through
some-
all of the emotions.
I went through all the emotions, absolutely. But to be fair, right, as soon as we scored and it was 2-1, I said straight away to my girlfriend, we could win this. I was thinking about putting a bet on. It was like, we're all over them. They're gonna get tired out and you just knock a few more in. That's exactly what happened.
Well, other than obviously the football that we're about to devour, that's sort of taken hold over the last week, we've got an advertising opportunity. So if you look at the screen, if you are listening or whatever, if you go to our YouTube channel, we have a programmed in animation where if you get in contact with us, if you're a like-minded project or artist or whatever, or individual, get in touch and we could hopefully sort something out. We're all about sort of building, I guess, beneficial, what would you say?
Bridges.
Yeah. Learning or whatever, sharing, learning, collaborating, whatever. So, little opportunity there. I'm quite excited about that, actually. I'm happy with how it turned out as an idea. Don't know what you two think.
It distracts the players a bit.
Yeah.
Advertising board.
Yeah. I mean, it's the art itself is really cool, and it's just a great idea. I mean, we have the means. Why not? Building bridges.
Yeah. Very nice. And obviously, if you want to learn more about the Pixel Player project, head over to our Twitter, which will be in the description below. But it's at Pixel Player NFT, which is the same on Instagram as well. And if you want to follow any of us, that'll be down below too. So please like, comment, and subscribe. They'll all help us out massively moving forward. I guess we'll start with the Premier League then, shall we? I didn't see that coming. Basically, that caught me off guard. Sat at my desk at 10 to 3. Sorry, on Saturday, about to watch Brighton Chelsea. Didn't see that coming. We'll start with that. Brighton 4, Chelsea 1. Potter going back to the Amex. Cucurella going back to the Amex. Didn't go to plan, did it? What do you two think?
It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for him. Imagine leaving your club after they've been doing so well.
I think karma, and that's what it is. It was meant to be, I think. I mean, Potter left them when they were on a massive streak, which they continued. I mean, they've been doing really well, actually. And they left them. They left them in a bad position, and it had to happen.
But what did Chelsea do from this? Do they carry on, pretend it never happened? Because it was working before. As soon as Potter stepped in, he was unbeaten, wasn't he?
I think it's always going to happen. Yeah, in a way, obviously De Zerbi's gone into Brighton, but De Zerbi's tactics aren't too dissimilar from Potter. So what you saw was essentially Brighton at the end of being absorbing or whatever, employing tactics set out by Potter and whatever, to Chelsea, who are just starting to learn them. So I think these results are going to happen, especially because I think the main problem was I sent Sam a graphic at half time on Saturday, and it showed the wing-backs of Brighton basically running riot down our flanks. And our main problem was, I think Potter chose Sterling and Pulisic to play wing-back, neither of which have any, desire to do any defensive work, to be honest, unless they're going to be extremely disciplined, which they could have been, but they weren't. And so what you saw was Chalobah and Cucurella constantly get teamed up on, 2-3 players, sort of popping the ball around them and playing in the wing backs or the wingers to sort of whack balls across the 6-yard box. So I think Potter got it wrong tactically. I think he chose the wrong players. I don't think he should have chose Cucurella. I think when we got Chilwell sat on the bench, I don't know why he chose.
I was just about to say that. I think he shouldn't have played Cucurella.
The amount of flack that Cucurella and Potter got from the Brighton fans was entertaining. I must admit, I wasn't enjoying it, but I was, I thought it a bit of a laugh, isn't it?
So yeah, it's always entertaining to see that.
Yeah. Which after, go on.
In the game, there were also 2 goal line clearances as well, right?
Before 1-0, yeah.
Before 1-0. So I mean, arguably the score, if Thiago Silva wasn't where
It
he
could have been
was,
6.
it could have been 6. But I think the most frustrating thing about it is it's Brighton, right? You've sort of gone in, you've ransacked their manager, you've ransacked
Yeah. A bit
and
like left Southampton and Liverpool,
yeah, exactly like that. And they've just stuck 2 fingers up at you.
Yeah,
well, 4.
But I
4
think
fingers up at you.
when I don't know, did you what you probably watched? Yeah, you watched the Bournemouth game, so but you could tell straight from the sort of kickoff that the Brighton players wanted it more, and that's cliche. But Chelsea didn't look like they had that bit between the teeth. They didn't look like they had the fire to sort of every second ball Brighton were winning. Every sort of third ball Brighton were winning. The tactics were wrong. There's something going wrong with Chelsea's attack still. Which can't
Did
put
he
my finger on.
attempt to change it? Did he attempt to change?
Not really.
In the 70th minute, late on the second half.
No, I mean, I wasn't. From the first half, I don't think he changed too much. And then obviously we scored the goal. When we scored the goal to make it, the thing is, I was saying if we can make it 2-1 before the half-time break, we'll have a chance. But it went 3-0, and I think that was kind of done then, isn't it? And that's the problem. I think the problem as well is like too many times this season we've gone behind and looked comfortable to sort of just let the game, pass us by.
3-1 is a lot more depressing than 2-1.
Yeah.
I mean, when Tottenham were 2-1, I was 2-1 down. I was optimistic. I was like, here we go. We've got enough time. 2 more goals. That's it. 3-1 down. You've got to get 3 more goals to win.
Yeah, and you can say like maybe if we did get 2-1 a little bit earlier, the game, but there was something missing. There's something missing from the before. I think it's going to take a transfer window, probably the summer transfer window, for Potter to get rid of some of these players, because I think players like Pulisic, I like Pulisic, but for some reason I got a feeling that he's not 100% committed. Obviously, the World Cup might be playing a sort of an effect here. We might be seeing certain players not fully committing themselves into challenges because, it's within a month now. They don't want to pick up knocks. So
when Varane came off the other day, he was in tears, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's his first thought was about the World Cup and whether he was going to miss it. Same with
and we're going to see a lot of that. I don't think we've seen the end of that.
A lot of players are going to miss this World Cup. Pogba just got injured.
Yeah,
too,
Pogba.
if I'm not mistaken.
Did he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? There's been a lot, actually.
Reece James. That's another thing that with Chelsea as well. Reece James being out, he's been our best player this season. So that's obviously a big miss. Kante being out isn't. I think we need an overhaul in midfield. I think Jorginho isn't right for Graham Potter's football, so I think he'll be going.
Do we remember when Jorginho nearly won the Ballon d'Or?
Yeah. Which a lot of people laugh about, but personally, I think that calendar year he did have a very good year. Ballon d'Or worthy, no, but I just think it was like the fact he captained I think he captained. I don't know if he captained the Italy team actually. Did he? Not sure.
I'm not sure. I think it was like a combination of he did have a good season, not amazing.
Yeah, for club and country, and country, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so.
But he just got in the right time where he just won a lot of titles.
Yeah,
I think that's what it got him. Really,
and that's why he came third. Yeah. And that's why he didn't win.
Because wasn't that the year where Chelsea won the
Champions League? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he needs
did
to
he win the FA Cup or something like that too? If I'm mistaken?
No, we got to the final.
Okay.
With a few things. I know we didn't. Yeah, we did the FA Cup. Yeah, sorry, we did. Yeah, we did. We lost the final. Yeah.
So do you need to replace him now?
Yeah, the thing with Jorginho is on the ball he's really good, but he can't score unless he's taking a penalty. Like he might have scored a couple goals from like open play, but he's not the sort of player who you have any trust in making a good connection with the ball.
Yeah.
And when he loses possession or like we're being forced to defend, he's just not quick enough. He takes ages to turn around. He's really slow. He's pretty weak, So I think he'll probably be going in the summer, and I think Kante probably will be going as well. I would
what
like
do you
Jude
think?
Bellingham.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm sure you want him, but what do you really think is gonna happen? Something realistic.
I was pretty resigned to not getting Bellingham. I thought he was pretty certain to go to Liverpool, but now I don't think so. Now I think Liverpool look really unattractive as a proposition.
Is he
What
not
about
more
Real
of a
Madrid
project?
though?
Is he what, Sam?
Sorry, is he not more of a project though? I don't think you can bring him into Chelsea and he's your leader.
I think he could. The thing is,
he's too young.
But he's captain Dortmund already, isn't he? And the way he is, I think he could fit in alongside Mount, James as the sort of leadership group, because I think
would he get their respect?
Yeah, I think so.
Straight away.
So. I think he's better than. Maybe it's a bit blasphemous to say. I think he's better than Mount. So,
well, in the event you cannot get him, what would be the alternative?
Okay, yeah. I think Declan Rice.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be brilliant.
I think Declan Rice. He's a Chelsea fan as well. Chelsea fan, full of energy. He's a leader. He's captain of West Ham.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he's the youngest captain in the league as well.
I think he would be better than Bellingham.
You think?
You. Yeah, because Bellingham's more. I
he must be a Gerrard though, Bellingham.
Yeah, but he needs to earn that a bit more. He's not jumping in the Chelsea squad and earning all their respect from day one. Declan Rice is.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love Declan Rice, and to be honest, I think it could happen. I think that one's probably the most likely. The only thing that makes me think, I mean, Todd Bowley's going to pay it anyway. I was just going to say West Ham don't want to sell him probably to Chelsea, and they're probably going to slap a hideous high price tag on him, but Todd Bowley will pay it.
But if Kante and Jorginho go, you need two new footballers, not one. So
and I think one will be Declan Rice, and I mean, you could say Moises Caicedo from Brighton might want to follow Potter to Chelsea, but
not anymore.
Well, I don't know. That's another thing on the Chelsea. We're still on Chelsea on the Brighton result. To me, it looked like a few of them players are almost playing for transfers in a way. Like Trossard's contract's up in the summer, I think. And it had that feel about it. It had a feel. One, the players want to show Graham that they're just as good without him, if not better. And two, I think they were a couple of them were playing to kind of say, I'd be open to a cheeky transfer, maybe. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think Trossard will definitely end up at a top six club, potentially. I'm tempted to say Spurs for some reason, because I think there was news coming out about Son wanting to move on, was there or not? Have you seen that?
I mean,
would you take him?
He looks.
Would you take Trossard for Son?
Would you take Trossard for Son? I mean, no one wants to lose Son. I'll take Son over Trossard, but I'll take Trossard. I think Trossard's a great footballer.
Yeah.
But going back to Chelsea, though, my problem with Chelsea is every time there seems to be, let's say, every time you seem to lose, the optimism is, let's wait until the next transfer window. It's always transfer window.
Yeah, and do you know what? I agree.
Because you're fixated in the transfer window. You're going to spend big money. That's what you're accustomed to.
I think it's felt like we've been in a project or a state of rebuild for like 5 years. Like since I was at university with Centre, and we were drawing out, we were doing whatever in the evenings and drawing out pictures on whiteboards of our teams. That even then, that was when we were just getting rid of Conte, I think, and Sarri was potentially coming in. It felt like we were definitely a project. Sarri was a big sort of, turning point in philosophy of what football we were playing. So that was a project. We got rid of Sarri. Lampard came in. That was a project because we had to sort of get behind the young manager and young players in Mount and James. He went. Tuchel came in, we're like, right, let's get behind this. He won the Champions League, right, let's start building a project with Tuchel. He's now gone. And now we've got Potter, and now we're saying, Potter needs time. He needs a few transfer windows to get rid of players like Hakim Ziyech, who does not look happy. Pulisic probably not happy. Aubameyang's probably going to go at the end of the season. Thiago Silva's a question mark. Azpilicueta's probably on the way out. So there's a lot of players. Kante, as we've discussed, Jorginho. There's a lot of players that look like, this could be their last season. So there's a lot to change at Chelsea, I think.
Yeah.
I think that what it halted all of that was all those sanctions to come. Because wasn't there a scandal with your youth players, like you signed very young players or something of the sort, and you got like a ban of 1 or 2 years or seasons without buying players,
transfer ban, yeah.
So that was a massive problem, and from there I think it just died out because you were just changing, like you said, the coach every single season.
Yeah.
And that coach wasn't able to make his team because you had the transfer ban. So it was basically the same thing. He couldn't get his idea on the field. So again, he was not up to the level he was expected to be. And then Tuchel was. I was not expecting that, to be honest.
No, I don't think he was either.
Yeah. Because they were building a team around him. He was choosing the players he wanted.
That's another thing. This transfer window now, I'm glad you said that because I thought about this earlier and I wanted to mention it. This transfer window now looks very questionable. 50 million on Raheem Sterling, 30-odd million on Koulibaly, who's definitely past his great player, but definitely past his best. 20-odd million on Chukwuemeka, who looks good, but he's not improving the squad necessarily. Well, he might be improving the squad, but the starting 11 definitely not. And Aubameyang. So I think it's been a pretty disappointing. And I think we were looking at the time. I think I was actually quite positive about it. But now I've seen, Sterling has not been playing too well. But then again, can you blame him? He's playing wing back. Koulibaly's injured. Fofana, I think, is not really appropriate here, maybe because he's injured. And literally just before he went off injured, he scored. But yeah, the transfer window looks like these players. If I could, I'd send Sterling back to City. Do you know what I mean?
If you don't want it, I'll take that transfer window for myself.
I think Sterling's a great signing.
He's a great player, but he's at that point in his career where he's on the sort of,
No. I mean, Sterling, he's 27 years old. It may feel like he's at that point in his career because he's been around for so long. He has been in the headline from day one, right?
Pretty much.
He's about to turn 28.
He's about to turn 28.
No, man.
If you got 4 years out of him for 50 million, that's a great signing.
You're right. I mean, if he does manage to turn his form around, maybe I won't be so sour. But at the moment, he's leaving a lot to be desired. But like I said, it might be form. So we'll just have to wait and see. But there's still an element of disappointment with the fact we spent so much and it doesn't feel like the starting 11 is that different. I don't know. Definitely because Reece James being injured is a factor and Kante as well. But
I don't think they were intelligent signings.
No, I think, that definitely the age of the players is the main concern. Koulibaly's old. Well, not old, but I think he's 30-odd. Isn't he 32 or something?
I think it's, something of the sort. Not 32, is it?
I think he is around 32, yeah.
Thiago Silva's ancient as well.
But Thiago Silva's our best. Well, other than Reece James, he's probably our best player this season so far. Mount is a shout. He's been playing okay, but 31 is Koulibaly. So yeah. But yeah, maybe that that's a good amount sort of discussed on Chelsea. So maybe we should move on to Liverpool and the return of the Jurgen Klopp Gurn. Leeds winning it in the last minutes.
Well, another
back-to-back losses. Nottingham Forest.
Jesus.
Nottingham Forest the week before, and Leeds this week.
So last time we were here, we said
it's just disappointing.
the last podcast we were on, though, we said between Conte and Klopp, how many more games have they got? Or
Yeah.
how many more losses? Right, I think we said three more losses for both of them.
Something of the sort, yeah.
So if Klopp loses this Napoli game,
And then you've got Spurs on the weekend.
and then you got Spurs on the weekend, that's 4 losses on the bounce. Is that 4 or 5?
4,
4.
5, 4.
Four losses on the bounce, right? Now the thing is, they could also win the Champions League game, but then lose against Tottenham. But because they've won the Champions League game and they've broken that sort of chink, it may be perceived better.
Yeah. I mean,
But Champions
I'm
League
actually
game
not convinced they're going to beat Napoli tonight. They might be.
No, nor am I.
But,
Napoli, top of the league. They are doing.
yeah, they're playing
amazing in
really
Italy.
well. And they're
Yeah,
the highest scoring team in the Champions League and in Italy.
Oh, I
So,
didn't know that.
and I think Klopp's going to rest players for this Spurs game.
So they
Probably.
and I mean, the World Cup's coming up, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're Italian.
Yeah. And obviously, they're one of their best players right now, that Kvaratskhelia. I'm going to say it,
Yeah.
an absolute random. I've had a go. The Georgian winger.
So right,
He's obviously not going.
Yeah,
So,
we're expecting them to lose, right? We're expecting Liverpool to lose against Napoli. Now, say
Yeah,
they
well-
lose against Tottenham, that's 4 losses on the bounce. What happens? What do you do if you're Liverpool management? What do you do?
I still feel like Klopp might have. He's just got to get to this World Cup break, hasn't he? Really, I don't think they're going to sack him. I think if they sack Klopp, it'll be at the end of the season, after a shocking season.
At the end of the season?
Yeah, I
Because
think so.
yet again, we are in the same position as Chelsea. Who do you get?
Yeah,
You need to get someone
Tuchel.
out. Yeah, well,
No. But in
Tuchel.
my head, if you don't get rid of him now, and wait until the end of the season, you're resigning to not getting any Champions League football,
It's true.
and that's massive.
Yeah.
And look at what Tottenham did. Tottenham got Conte in,
Yeah,
and
got
miraculously got Champions League football. And now we're happy this year. Not having Champions League football next year is just depressing.
Yeah.
Because like nights like this,
You're
you wait
excited?
till
eh?
Thursday.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Tuchel as a potential replacement, I don't know if you two have seen on social media this week, but Thomas Tuchel's been spotted out in India. He's been with religious personnel, should we say, religious figures, meditating, relaxing, recharging.
I respect it.
He's really sort of gone into his spiritual side, shall we say. So Thomas Tuchel's been spotted signing Chelsea shirts in Indian airports, and photographs with these religious people as well. So if you want to have a look, just go and have a little search. But yeah, interesting. Liverpool, I think Liverpool are in big trouble. I think the squad is, as we said last week, the squad is stagnated. I think that hearing Klopp's bark, multiple times a week must be draining.
They didn't play well, did they?
Didn't play well.
That game against Leeds was, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he took Trent off as well. He took Trent off, which is,
I think the key on this Liverpool is this winter market. Definitely.
Well, that's
I
hard.
think they
It's
have to
hard, isn't it?
change. I know it's hard, but they have to change something. Either keeping Klopp and changing something. I don't know, something. Not something, not just one thing, but several things, because Liverpool needs quite a lot of things right now.
Yeah.
Or if you want to change Klopp, that would be the thing. Like change it in the winter market and try and drop the cash, change the team, and try and see.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very difficult position right now for Liverpool.
They need multiple signings, similar to
Multiple
Chelsea,
signings.
multiple midfielders as well, which makes it even more difficult because you've got teams going for the same type of player. And I think this is where we're going to see again transfer fees becoming ridiculous, ever more ridiculous if they're not ridiculous already, which they are. I saw Dortmund today, something saying they wanted at least 150 million euros for Bellingham. So whoever's getting Bellingham is going to have to be coughing up a lot of money. He'll probably break the English player transfer fee, which I think the British player at the moment is it Gareth Bale still got the record, or no, Grealish, isn't it? It's Jack Grealish,
Is it?
surely.
Yeah,
100 million.
How much?
pounds.
100?
Yeah,
Was
Yeah.
it?
yeah.
Just, I think it was more. Oh,
No, I
maybe
think it was
because I'm
100.
thinking about, probably because I'm thinking about in euros.
Yeah, and Bale was 100 million euros, right?
Yes,
I can't
So-
remember. So long ago.
yeah. But Liverpool, Fabinho. Many Liverpool fans are complaining about Fabinho, saying he's been horrendous this season. As I said before, he substituted Alexander Arnold for James Milner. Now, whether this is to protect Arnold, or maybe
For the
just to
World
sure up things at the back, is Milner better than him defensively? Probably reads the game better, I'd say. So yeah, Liverpool have got a lot of work to do, similar to Chelsea. So probably have to wait and see how that pans out. Tottenham on the weekend for them. So I've probably come to it at the end, but it's a win for Spurs for me personally.
And very good win by Leeds, who is pretty close. He was in
Jesse
the
Marsch.
relegation zone, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He was
Jesse
very
March
close.
has really been struggling at Leeds, and as you could see by celebrations at the end, it meant a lot to him to get those 3 points. Yeah.
Mhm.
So great win for Leeds. That's a great result to win away at Anfield, to pop the Virgil van Dijk record, isn't it? He's never lost a league game at Anfield.
70 games, wasn't it?
Yeah,
70
70.
Anfield
I think it
games.
was 70 games. So that is now over, thanks to
Well-
Leeds. Rodrigo, I don't know if you've seen the highlights, Sente,
Did he?
but Rodrigo
Was.
got an absolute gift of a goal at the start.
Well, even the
Oh,
second goal was a
fourth
gift.
minute, Rodrigo Moreno. Obviously, I mean, he's...
It was the second goal was a nice little finish. I thought he took it quite quickly. He moved
No,
the
no,
ball with
but-
one foot and then took a. Oh, I think he took it the same foot actually. Moved it with
But
the
the-
right
the
foot. And
defending-
yeah,
The
shocking
defending
defending.
was flappy. It was just it was 2 goals that could have been prevented.
Yeah.
And they weren't.
You can tell the amount they miss Mane up front is ridiculous, isn't it? It's becoming so clear that letting go of Sadio Mane was a huge mistake for Liverpool. But yeah, so Liverpool.
Didn't they get rid of a couple players and didn't replace them with anyone?
Well, I guess they thought that the goals that they would lose in selling Mane would be replaced by signing Darwin Núñez, but he's not exactly. I mean, he's looking at, he's putting in the work, should we say? He's got a good work ethic, so just have to wait and see. But that's what Timo Werner had. Timo Werner had a good work ethic. That's now looking like, should we have sold Timo Werner and got in Raheem Sterling? Who knows? Timo Werner's having quite a good season back in Germany, but maybe that was the problem. Playing football in Germany might be slightly more
Right
suited
now-
to Timo Werner.
Yeah, but right now, would you say that Darwin Núñez was a good signing for Liverpool? Especially
No.
for that amount of money?
No.
No.
I think they'd all send him back in a heartbeat, to be honest.
Just won't admit it.
Yeah. Which I do feel bad for him, because I feel like he knows that we were at the start comparing him to Haaland just because of the price tag.
I think,
There's no comparison, is there?
That's the
no
thing.
comparison.
None.
I think the problem there was the price tag. I've seen Darwin Núñez because he was playing in the second division Spanish team.
Yeah.
Almeria, I believe it was. And it was amazing. Valencia was about to get it a couple of times before he went to Benfica. I think he went to Benfica, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was an amazing player, but the problem is that he's not that. I mean, he's not that expensive. Like, he is a 40, 50 million.
Well, there was a story,
No
wasn't there,
more.
that came out just after Liverpool signed him, that's saying that when Benfica got told about the price Liverpool were willing to pay, which was 100 million euros, they just laughed. They were sat in the boardroom laughing because they wanted like 70 million, I think, and then Liverpool came in with a 100 million euro offer. But there we go. So yeah, Liverpool sat down in 9th position, 16 points. Spurs next to play, so it's not looking great. I guess if they do lose that, you're looking at potentially conceding places down to maybe 11th position, potentially even being overtaken by Everton, their local rivals, this weekend. So if this really falls apart for Klopp in the next couple of weeks, Liverpool could be heading into the 5-week World Cup break below Everton. Which marks halfway point in the season as well. So to be below your rivals during a 5-week break at the end of half of the season being played would be quite a tough pill to swallow.
What a horrible season.
Yeah.
I can't believe
a mad season.
Yeah, a mad season. It's been a mad season.
And it's going to get madder, I think.
I think the fight for the title is mad, with Arsenal, City, Spurs, Newcastle just popping up right now.
Newcastle could come out of nowhere with no European football, and
literally
they could. You don't know. We don't know who Newcastle might be signing this January.
Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously good players.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I've been hearing about Newcastle is that, so obviously the financial fair play rules come in. They've got unlimited money at the moment, right?
Yeah.
They've got a bit of restrictions.
Oh.
Now he might have just he might tune back in a sec, but he was discussing the Newcastle restrictions. So I guess is he back? He's back. Carry on.
There we go.
Yeah. So there's no restrictions on the resources that they can buy.
Yeah.
So the gym equipment, immaculate. We're talking about we're talking the other day about Emerson Royale spending $800K on breathing equipment for his running. Now, think about how spec'd all their training facilities are now. They're apparently one of the best in the world.
Best of the best.
Didn't they build some new facilities pretty much on the moment they arrived on the club?
Exactly. So that's where they're pumping all their money into, and you could argue that that's where the results are coming from.
Probably.
Yeah, because they've got state-of-the-art technology, state-of-the-art facilities that enable better play, right?
Yeah.
Enjoyable atmosphere.
I mean, we might as well just top off on Newcastle. They're 4-0 at home to Aston Villa. Battered them, didn't they?
Again.
Callum Wilson.
Another win. Yep, another win for them.
They're looking a really good team. I'm very concerned. Chelsea play them next week after the Arsenal game, so very
You've got
concerned.
Arsenal, Newcastle,
and the thing is, they already look pretty solid, and season after season, they're just gonna go up because they have unlimited money. So they just have to wait for that fair play to basically allow them to buy whatever they want.
Yeah, and
I think 2-3 seasons time, they will pretty much, if not
Champions
winning the Premier League, fighting to win the Premier League.
Yeah,
obviously fighting to win the Champions League.
It's hard to say they'll definitely be a Champions League team because you're looking at now 7 teams, aren't you? Looking at Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, Man United, Man City. About 7 teams all seriously contending to be in the Champions League, and with players like Joe Linton. I mean, what a revelation he's been to be signed as a striker. Almiron, I cannot believe that Almiron could literally have had a goal of the month competition with himself in October.
He's a new player. He's a completely different player, right?
Yeah. And a team of you got Almiron, Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes, Alexander Isak, Callum Wilson, just to name a few. It's a proper good team, and as we said, if they add another player or two in January, which they might well do, they can go for a certain caliber of player that might not be at the level of being snatched up by a big club, because nowadays big clubs get given ridiculous sort of transfer, price expectations to pay for these sort of players from a team like, let's say, Valencia for Mamush, Davashvili, or goalkeeper, whatever.
Yeah, I think they are in that stage, trying to pick up from teams good quality teams, for example, a Sevilla, Valencia, or something like that. They're quality teams.
Yeah.
They've been playing a lot of competitions. They're going to give you something.
Yeah.
for sure.
So, this Premier League, as we said, is not only mad, but deeply invigorating. I just can't call it. This Newcastle team looked like a real force. And we saw this at the end of last season when I watched the Newcastle-Arsenal game where Newcastle ended Arsenal's Champions League hopes with Sento. And Newcastle looked like a proper good team, didn't they, Sento? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Proper good team.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I could tell you, in three seasons' time, expect it to win something important, I'd say.
They could even
That's
make
my
a
take.
shout for an FA Cup now, though, couldn't they? They could go on a cup.
Oh,
run
yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What a job Eddie Howe's doing there. Well done to the lad. So, Bournemouth 2, Spurs 3. Bournemouth 2-0 up at one point. What happened then, Sam?
I mean, in my eyes, it was a game of Bournemouth were on the back foot the whole game. And then a couple of counter-attacks that went Bournemouth's way. And
Big
they were
old
just more
Kiefer Moore.
clinical. Kiefer Moore. They were just more clinical. We had them pinned in their box for 70% of the game, but we couldn't convert. We couldn't even convert it into shots on target. That was how frustrating it was. Towards the end of the game, late second half is where it started to turn around, and that's obviously where we scored our goals and started winning. But at one point, it was looking hopeless. When you're just playing a team and they're just full on defending, and you've got to try and do something creative, and it didn't look like it was happening. This is where we needed the Kulusevskis or the Richarlisons, Harry Kane and Son. Yeah, I mean they're great players, but we couldn't break them down. And we had. Wow, I mean I can't really slag off our wing backs because both of them scored.
Yeah, I mean Sessegnon was about to be taken off, wasn't he? And then
he was, and he stayed on.
Yeah.
But the days of running along the wing, whipping a ball in, and Harry Kane heading it in, we haven't got anyone who can deliver it.
Yeah, that must be true. I mean, I remember when we were at that point, we were struggling for so many years to not have a player fullback who could whip in a ball, and then Reece James came along and changed it. But, if you could have a Trent or a Reece James like player who could wrap their left or right boot around the ball, put a bit of shape on it for Harry Kane.
Is Brian Hill playing?
Brian Hill's coming on. Is what he's who my girlfriend calls the 12-year-old. He looks like a 12-year-old.
Jesus.
So he comes on for the last 10 minutes of the game. Last game, he won us a penalty. He did pretty well.
Do you like him?
How old is he?
22,
21.
something like
He's
that.
21. So, it looks hopeful. He looks exciting, put it that way.
He just looks like he needs to fill out a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, if he was 25, it'd be a bit... Is that what we're watching?
Yeah.
I loved him when we got it along last season from you. I think he played really well with us, actually.
He needs to mature his game a bit more, I think.
Yeah.
Be a bit more confident.
Yeah.
But the Tottenham-Bournemouth game sort of all turned around when he changed Davinson Sanchez for Eric Dyer. He brought off Basuma and put on Bentancur. And those two were massive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who's that? Yep.
Basuma hasn't been performing.
Mm.
I haven't rated him in a Spurs shirt this season.
Yeah.
And it was Lucas Moura who came on as well. He came on first thing, second half, and he just spiced it up a bit. A little bit of pace, a little bit of excitement.
Bit of urgency. Yeah.
A bit of urgency. And that's what I put it down to. I mean, Davinson Sanchez and Basuma didn't play great. You change that out for Dyer and Bentancur, and the game completely changes.
So was that 90+2 goal a lucky one, or was it deserved?
Sento, it's our 20th corner.
Definitely deserved.
I'll say it. I'll say it.
Hold on. We had 23 goal attempts.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was just looking at the stats right now. Yeah, 23. Wow, Jesus.
Yeah, 19 corners. I mean, you know,
Well,
it was just corner after
It
corner.
was a similar story against
Yeah.
Sporting Lisbon, wasn't it? Even though you didn't get the winner in the end because it got chalked off, that you were really peppering their goal towards the end, weren't you?
Yeah, but so, well, the corner situation. I mean, we got a new set piece
Coach.
set piece coach. But Son was just kicking them in, and it wasn't really doing anything.
Yeah.
You bring on Perisic, he takes his first corner of the game, bang, Ben Davies goal.
Yeah.
Ben
And
Davies,
that's a rarity, isn't it? Ben
that
Davies
is a
getting on
rarity.
the score sheet. So.
second goal in 6 years.
Christ.
But Perisic, let me tell you, he has a wand.
He's
His
got
foot
a
is
wand
a-
of a both foot, yeah.
He's
got a couple of wands.
And every time he runs to sort of the byline, you think it's going to go out and he's just going to sort of knock it. He's a pinpoint cross.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Um,
great. Been a great signing.
You
Really.
should play him more then. Why is he not playing then?
I think he's too old.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the stamina.
Yeah, is he
Yeah,
like 32, 33, something like that?
33, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So, I
It's
mean,
it's a similar situation to Thiago Silva. Is that you sort of wish you had him, when he was 25. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think their roles are slightly different.
Obviously, yeah.
I mean, Perisic has to do a lot of running.
Yeah. But like when for me, Thiago Silva's been, other than John Terry, probably the best defender I've seen at Chelsea. So, to
That's a
have
shout.
had him, we signed him when I think he was 30, 36, 35. To have been able to have had him when he was even 28, would have been a blessing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, yeah. I think Spurs fans probably feel pretty similar about Perisic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exciting player, but he's had his career, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's sort of come to Tottenham to simmer down, hasn't he?
And it's good to have those types of players in Tottenham's squad. We need winners.
Yeah.
We need trophy winners.
It's good, yeah. It's good to have those type of players. They have the quality still.
Yeah.
They might not have the stamina, like you said, but they can come out for the last 15, 20 minutes. And
Yeah.
they always have that quality, and they will always give something to the team.
They've
Yeah.
got that expertise as well to sort of develop
Yeah.
younger players. They look at them and sort of learn their game.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's for. I think that's what he's here for, and he's doing a great job. I like him. But Basuma's not happening for me.
No, I mean, I think
It's not.
Basuma's potentially just too similar to Højbjerg. You can't really play Højbjerg and Basuma. So I think,
I think
it's either
I
one or
don't
the other,
think-
isn't it?
I don't think Basuma's a great trainer.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I've
Yeah.
heard that he's not great
Bit
on
of
the
a
training
jogger.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Conte is very much.
Not another Ndombele.
Yeah, exactly. Another Ndombele is not great.
But who do you prefer though, Ndombele or Basuma?
Well, at the moment, Ndombele. I loved watching Ndombele.
Yeah.
Ndombele was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
I
What
appreciate.
happened with him then?
Well,
He
again,
was
the
just
same sort of
homesick.
thing.
I reckon it was homesickness or something.
Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't a great trainer, and I think it was very much he wanted to do what he enjoyed and what he wanted rather than
Yeah.
what the manager wanted.
Did you ever watch the Spurs Amazon documentary thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, because in that I thought he looked a little bit just like he never settled, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Never settled in.
yeah. He never really did.
But he was a
what I
great
was hoping-
player.
What I was hoping he was going to turn into is going to turn into another
Dembele.
Dembele.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was
Where's he
a
at now?
He's retired, probably, is he?
Ndombele.
Oh, sorry.
Retired.
He's
retired.
Ndombele. Where's Ndombele?
He
Napoli.
went to Italy.
Is it Napoli?
Yeah, I was going to say, is it Napoli?
Napoli is Napoli, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Napoli.
Yeah.
Napoli.
Yeah.
We'll be playing tonight.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
So Spurs nicely nestled in third position at the moment. 5 points off the top, which is in touch. Spurs are still in this title race. A game.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Arsenal got a game in hand though. But even with 8 points halfway in the season, 8 points is not insurmountable. So, Arsenal could come back from this World Cup, couple players injured, and you just never know. This 2.5 season malarkey that we got going on this year because of the World Cup, splitting them in half, makes it really interesting. We have no idea, do we?
I was saying this before, like this Premier League, I think is one of the most interesting ones I've ever seen. Arsenal on top, fighting with City, Spurs still on the fight, then Newcastle, like I said, popping up. But have you even seen the relegation zone?
Yeah.
Wolves, Leicester, Villa also over there, Leeds also.
Southampton sniffing around it.
Yeah. Like Jesus, and then you have the mid-table with Liverpool. Then the rest of the teams are pretty average, let's say.
Yeah.
Liverpool on the mid-table.
Liverpool are 5 points above the relegation zone. 5 points and 8 points away from top 4. So they're closer to the relegation zone by 3 points.
And top 4, Jesus. Yeah, like this Premier League, super interesting. Never seen one as interesting as this. Yeah. Wolves on the 19th position and Leicester 18th. Like, I would have never, ever said that at the beginning of the
season. Speaking of Wolves, Diego Costa topped off a 1-1 draw. We're getting sent off for a headbutt.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one for me.
Did you see it?
Did you see
it?
I
thought he was going for it. I thought he went for it multiple times. I thought he went for it twice. 2 bites and a cherry.
I think it was just a little bit of roughy tough.
I mean, he's just a bit of a mad one, isn't he?
Yeah, but he was being pulled down and
he's a showman. He's a showman.
He's a bit of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Yeah. It was.
Oh. Yeah.
Apologies. It was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Just to sort of give you a little bit of context to why Sam's connection might be just dropping out. It's been done about twice in the last half an hour, so it's fine, really. But we are actually experiencing some quite high winds in the UK this evening, so probably expect it to be something to do with the weather. But yeah, Spurs getting the last-minute winner. Just to quickly finish on Spurs, we'll just touch upon a player who doesn't even play for Spurs anymore, but I guess is quite closely linked. Dele Alli, who's been called out by the Besiktas manager for underwhelming performances. Probably a player that's just lost all motivation for the game once he's got his big old payday. Who knows?
It's unfortunate, but I mean,
do you think
the best case for Dele Alli would be he goes to Turkey and shows everyone that he's still got it, and he's enjoying the game, right? He's enjoying it and playing for fun. Doesn't sound like that's happened. I think that was his expectations too.
Yeah,
he probably didn't really think that he had to try. When in reality,
what do you think? Do you think maybe he's one of those sort of players where the money sort of comes in and then you sort of lose interest a bit?
I think so. I mean, he got the fame, he got the money.
Yeah.
He didn't. Yeah. Again,
why not? Yeah, the thing it's sad though because it's very young.
Well, if we talk about the Tottenham documentary again, I mean, there's a scene with him and Jose Mourinho, and it's like, if
you are fucking lazy.
No, but it's you have to tell yourself, not me, not no one else, because otherwise one day you will regret it. That's what he says.
Yeah,
and
he probably did already.
Yeah. If he's not regretting it now, then I mean, you go forward 20 years, you're definitely regretting.
Yeah, he will. I mean, because there was one point with Dele Alli, probably the evening of that goal against Crystal Palace, where everyone was thinking that this guy could be the next, Gascoigne, or I mean, everyone was saying he's the next Gascoigne, or sort of Lampard sort of figure.
Yeah, and then he dinks the ball over Petr Cech against Arsenal.
Yeah, and was that the League Cup? I think was it? Can't remember.
Oh,
yeah, great goal that was. But yeah, very sad, very sad.
It was an amazing prospect.
He played well at the World. What World Cup was it? Was the Russia? Was it the last World Cup? Might be the last World Cup.
Yeah, well, 4 years ago.
Yeah, played quite a good tournament. I think he scored in the quarterfinal against Sweden. But yeah, so Spurs getting that win. Arsenal 5-0 against Forest. They on Saturday after City won. City we'll quickly just brush over that again. Every week we brush over City on this podcast, and it's just because they're doing the same old. They're grinding out results. De Bruyne
It's just-
scoring an absolute world-class free kick, top corner. You couldn't have placed it in a better position. But Man City just doing what Man City do, aren't they? They're just churning out results in the background. Nothing
They're
too
constant.
glamorous.
Very constant. Yeah.
Yeah.
They know how to get the results and they get them. That's it.
Exactly.
I think they're doing what we expect them to do, which
It's experience, isn't it? It's experience.
Which could be the new Newcastle.
And at the end of the on Saturday evening, when City were at the top of the league, I thought, Arsenal didn't look great in midweek against PSV. I thought this could be, this could be the slip up. This could be Forest, because Forest got a result against Liverpool as well. I had high hopes that this could be it. Arsenal won't be returning to the top of the league, but lo and behold, 5-0 Arsenal.
Top.
Saka went off injured, which I think has been said to just be a knock, which is good for the World Cup. I should think he should probably miss out the Chelsea game, but knowing Arteta, he's got no time for that at all. So expect him to probably be back. But yeah, 5-0 Arsenal, routine. Thomas Partey scored a goal that literally looked like the sort of same one he scored against Tottenham, where he curled it from the outside of the post to the inside. Routine win for Arsenal. They look good, but can you sort of gauge them against Forest? But what we will be able to do is gauge Arsenal this weekend because they're going to Stamford Bridge. I believe it's at Stamford Bridge.
We'll be able to gauge Potter. That's what we'll be able to do.
Yeah, it's at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
Arsenal go top, Forest go bottom. Yeah.
So I have to wait and see. I have to wait and see. It's going to be a great game. Stamford Bridge, I hope. But yeah.
Just a question. Well, I have a couple of questions for you guys. Firstly, what the hell is going on now with Cristiano Ronaldo? Now he's back. Is it back playing? Right? If I'm not mistaken, he scored a goal not long ago. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, right. So I mean, you can go back so far, right? You go back to the Tottenham game, and he walks off early.
Yeah.
The next game,
everything blows up. He wants to leave United. They're looking for a team desperately, basically.
The next game, he gets banned, or he gets internally banned or soft banned. He just gets told he's not going to play. Right?
Disciplined. Yeah.
Got disciplined. That's it. So he got disciplined and wasn't playing the next game. And what are we now? Are we now on the third game, the second game after that?
So that was the Spurs game when that happened, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then the next game was...
Wasn't it West Ham? Something like that?
West Ham was the most recent. Chelsea game was a Chelsea game upon which he played zero part in that.
Yeah. So that was where he was disciplined, the Chelsea game, right?
Yeah, and then I think he played in midweek in the Europa League against Sheriff, and he scored a goal against Sheriff.
Oh yeah, it was against Sheriff. Yes, that's it.
And now they played West Ham, obviously, in the Premier League, and
he did start up front.
Will he stay at United?
Maybe. I mean, maybe this is why he's starting. I mean, actually, no. Sorry, maybe he will be leaving. Maybe that's why he's starting. Maybe Ten Hag's given him a last few games as Man United player before he gets shipped off out to America or something.
I'll be sad if he goes to America.
I think he wants to stay in the Champions League, doesn't he?
He does. He should come to Valencia.
He wants to what? He wants to what?
Not stay in the Champions League. He wants to return to.
He wants to play Champions League.
He wants to go to the Champions League. Yeah, he's not in it at the moment.
Yeah. But yeah, Man United. Obviously, I think we were on the Arsenal. Arsenal 5-0.
It's routine for them, right?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's not much to add. That's a 5-0. That's a bashing from Arsenal.
There'll be more to speak about on Arsenal after the Chelsea game this weekend. So, we'll really have a deep dive into Arsenal in the next episode. Man City, as you said, 1-0 Leicester. Great goal from De Bruyne. Man United didn't play well against West Ham, but they got the 3 points in a game they probably wouldn't have won last year. So, Ten Hag will be pretty happy with that. Man United looking like they've got a bit of team spirit about them. Rashford scored, so that's probably good for his confidence, not just going into the World Cup, but just moving forward because he's been on a bit of bad form sort of the last 12 to 18 months or so. So,
My other question here that I forgot to ask before was Wolves. What the hell is going with Wolves? I was not
Looking for a
expecting
manager,
this
aren't they?
goal.
Looking for a
Yeah,
manager.
but I don't know. Is it a managing problem? Is it a player problem?
I think it's a bit of both. I mean, they lost Connor Cody, their I think he was their captain, wasn't he, their defender?
Yeah.
And he was really important for them at the back, leadership wise and stuff. I think so. Yeah, who knows with Wolves? Who knows? But
I mean, they've got a great team.
yeah,
that's the
Ruben
thing.
Neves, João
That's the thing.
Moutinho, yeah,
Diego
Guedes,
Costa.
Yeah, there's-
Diego Costa.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I think they're desperate to get a new manager in, so just have to wait and see.
Tuchel.
He won't go there. I think Aston Villa inquired about Tuchel, and he said no chance, pretty much. But
Really? Jesus.
yeah, I mean that pretty much finishes off the Premier League chat. So moving on quickly to La Liga.
Well, La Liga was interesting in the terms that every single big team, apart from Barcelona, flopped. They've all lost points this week. Firstly, Cadiz won against Atletico with a Ruben Sobrino, which is an ex-Valencia player. I'm not a big fan of him. Well, I liked him as a player in the sense of he knew what he had to do at Valencia. He knew that he was a bench player. He knew that he was there for that. Never complained. Always came out, gave his all. Nothing. I think I have nothing bad to say about him, but not a big fan either. Well, goal in the 90 plus 9 minute. Again, 9 minute added time for Athletic Madrid, same as the last Leverkusen game where they got also 9 minutes. Well, they actually got 5, but then it got extended to 9 for some reason. That was a bit dodgy. Let's just leave it at that. Sevilla loses against Rayo Vallecano 1-0. They drop back into the relegation zone. Big for them, really big for them. They sacked Lopetegui. They signed Sampaoli, but they're just not getting results back whatsoever. They're just falling more and more. They're back into the relegation zone, and only 10 points in 12 games. Not 12. Did I say 12 points? I meant
10 points in 12 games.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, 10 points in 12 games. So pretty bad.
Are they going down? They going down this season?
I mean, there's a lot of season to go. That's the thing. So, but in Sevilla, I don't know, man. This is very weird. I've never expected them to be in this position when last season, for the first half, they were even fighting to be number 1 in La Liga with Real Madrid. So, I don't know. They fall unexpectedly. They also fell in the Champions League. They're back into the Europa League, which they are experts in. So, who knows? They might win it. Not bad at all. Moving from that, we come to my beloved Valencia, who lost 1-0 against Barcelona. We're playing at home in Mestalla. So this is the only big team that didn't lose, Barcelona. And, well, it was against us, sadly. This leaves us in a pretty bad position. 5 points away relegation zone, 6 points away from Europe. And brings back Barcelona into the title race because they were 4 points away Real Madrid. So this leaves them 1 point away from Real Madrid. Pretty good. And this is because Real Madrid has drawn against Girona. 1-1. And
I mean, the results.
Tony Cruz getting his first red card of his career, was it?
Was it?
No. I think that was Diego Costa, actually.
But I mean, the results work out quite well for Barcelona, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, great results for Barcelona.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what was that gig we were
and
going
it kicked
about?
off. It
in
kicked
the
off.
background. Tell us a joke.
Well, for Sento won't. You won't be able to check this until later on. But I did quickly try to clear my throat, thinking that I muted the microphone just as we were listening to Sento talk about La Liga. You can, if you did hear that, I excuse that. I think it was
what
quite...
he did instead, for the record, was instead he turned his camera off.
Yeah.
So we couldn't see it, but we could hear it.
So there you go. There you go. If you did hear a weird sound and you had to replay it, because when I'm listening to things, sometimes I hear a weird sound in the recording. I have to replay it to make sure it didn't happen in my vicinity. So if you are quickly trying to figure out who that was, doing whatever, it was me. Sorry, Sento.
Yeah.
Where we left off, Lewandowski just
clearing your throat, though. I mean, I don't know. That looks suspicious. He also took out the camera, so we couldn't even check it. But I didn't even realize, mate.
Yeah. but anyway, so we got a Barcelona win, and we got Atletico losing and Real Madrid drawing. I mean, that's an ideal scenario.
Almost as exciting as the Barcelona-Valencia fight towards the end of the game.
Oh yeah, a little fight up there.
Got a bit tasty, didn't it?
With a couple of players. Lewandowski, I mean, a little bit. Although it all ended cool, but Lewandowski pushed a little bit. It was not a big push, but it was a push. He pushed back Fulquier, and then Fulquier pushed him back. Also, for me, it was not a big push either, but he fell to the ground. I think it was all acting. Like, if you say it, I mean, it was not a big push.
Yeah.
Fell to the ground. Ferran Torres comes running from the back, pushes Fulquier, and then that's when it all started, right? Like Barcelona players came around, Valencia players came around, they were pushing, and then everything ended pretty cool. Well,
yeah.
Ferran Torres, mate, he's
not a Valencia boy no more, is he?
I'm sorry, he is not. He is not a Valencia boy anymore.
I mean,
Canning Lee left on a free. Well, he didn't want him to leave. We pretty much forced him to leave. Like, it was not really his fault. He left on a free. He scored on the last game against Mallorca, the winner actually for Mallorca. Didn't celebrate it. He actually asked for it. Yeah, he asked for forgiveness to the crowd. I mean, at least that's cool. He is from Korea, South Korea. He's not even Spanish. It's not from Valencia. And Ferran Torres was born in Valencia. He was raised in Valencia Academy. And then he goes to City, not wanting to re-sign his contract. So we have to sell him on a cheap to City. And then he celebrates the Lewandowski goal. It wasn't even his goal. Lewandowski goals, like he was his own goal against us. It's like, and then you're asking saying on the interviews, oh yeah, I love Valencia. I would love to come back in the future. Valencia's in my heart. Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about, mate? No. And you come and push our place, bro. No. I'm sorry, you're not a Valencia boy anymore.
So Sento is going to pronounce this perfectly for me. He's from a little place in Valencia, Foyos.
Yeah, Foyos. You said it properly.
Yeah. Well, anyway, in that little scrap, I had my money on Gattuso beating Xavi.
Oh.
I think we all would. Gattuso's a little terrier, isn't he? To be fair though, I had Joe Jordan over Gattuso that time.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
When he
took his glasses off.
Yeah,
Jordan.
I think Redknapp had Joe Jordan as well. I think that's what you said. I think Joe Jordan. If you look at old photos of Joe Jordan as a player, he's like missing about 3 teeth. I think so. Bit of a
proper
nutcase.
squared up.
Yeah,
squared up against each other, didn't they?
Yeah, classic that is. But Real Madrid drawing to Girona.
And that's it, pretty much.
Everything
Cruz,
happened
like you
in the
said, gets a red card in the 90+1. That's a silly card, probably. I didn't watch the game, unfortunately. But
basically,
yeah.
Zeno, if we want to watch Spanish football, let's just watch
Let's
the last
just
10
tune
minutes.
into the last 10 minutes. Yeah.
I mean,
Everything happens in the
Yeah.
last 10 minutes.
two
Literally.
Atletico goals and then Cadiz winner in the 99th minute. You got a Barcelona winner, and you
On the
got a
90 plus
Tony
3.
Kroos red card, and
And the winner in the 80th minute, which is also pretty much the end. So, yeah, like you said, let's just watch the last 10 minutes. That's all you have to
happy
watch.
days.
Yeah.
Well, that could really finish off our football sort of, I guess, recap. One more thing for this week, I believe.
Mhm.
Something I've sort of conjured up for us all to enjoy
So,
is a little feature.
why are you
Haven't
bringing
quite.
us?
Yeah, I'll probably have to explain a little bit for the listeners and viewers and whatever. Haven't quite coined a catchy name for it yet, but at the moment it's called non-league footballer or British service station. So what this is I'm going to give you a name of either a
I have to
non-league.
stop. I have one second. I
Yeah,
have to stop you
yes,
there
please
one
do.
moment. Just to say that I love your Super Saiyan, like her style right now. Sam, I love it. You guys cannot see it, viewers, but we can see each other. That Super Saiyan, I love it.
How natural.
Jesus, and now it's like some sort of Grease, like how is what was the name? The Grease, the movie.
Oh, John Travolta.
Yeah, Travolta. Yeah, look at that, an extreme Travolta. That's it.
I can even do the Darwin Núñez.
There we go. Oh, I love it.
But yeah, non-league footballer or British service station. So I'm going to give you a name, and it's either going to be a non-league footballer or a British service station. So if you don't know what a British service station is, I'd say they're quite poignant sort of cornerstones of British culture, really. They're sort of places where you might pull off on a long journey in your car. So you pull off the motorway, and you'll be able to go for a toilet there. There's fast food. There might be a restaurant. Might be a place to get some coffee.
Gas stations.
Gas station. But the service station is a bit like a gas station on steroids. So, like I said, you've got your restaurants, your fast food, and all the rest of it. Yeah, get your newspaper, your gas. But yeah, you know what I mean.
I think I need more clarification on what a non-league footballer is.
Okay, so a non-league footballer is a footballer who I'm hoping you wouldn't have heard of, basically.
Okay.
If I was to choose a Premier League footballer, you'd probably be able to pick out pretty quickly that the Paul Pogba is not a service station heading northbound from Luton.
Oh, isn't it? No. I thought it was.
So I don't know whether to maybe this week. I'll let you two guess, and I'll give you the answer. But next week we'll make it a rolling thing, just to give everyone a bit of an idea of how it carries on. But nice way to finish this episode. We're ticking up to just an hour now, and the football is just about to start for the Champions League. So I'm sure we want to get off and sort of get into that. So non-league footballer or British service station. The name this week is Sedgemoor.
Sedgemoor.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask both of you in your own time.
I'm saying service station.
Senso?
Sedgemoor service station.
For me, it gives me a player vibe. I don't know why. I don't know.
Could be a little Thomas Sedgemoor.
I would love that. A little Bob Sedgemoor.
I'll tell you what's going on in my head. Right, is we've got George over here, and he's scrolling through the internet. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. He's looking at a non-league football club, and he's looking at their squad. He sees Thomas Sedgemoor, and what he's done is he's like, that sounds like a place in England. That sounds like a service station. And then he comes up with a game. So I think he's found the player and he's associating it with a service station. But I'm gonna I'm gonna take the hit. I'm gonna take the hit and say it's a service station.
And you're going to try and be right by going wrong.
by going wrong, yeah.
And Sento believes he's a player.
Yes.
I think that's what he's trying to
His name
convince.
is Bob, actually, not Thomas.
Bob
I think
Sedgemoor.
he's doing the double bluff.
Okay. So this week, Sedgemoor, I can confirm, is a service station heading southbound from Bristol on the M5 towards Exeter. Thank you very much.
No. Where's
Right.
Bob, mate? Where's
That's it.
Bob?
So now what I struggle to understand is you found a service station and said that could be a footballer.
Yeah. More from that next week. So thank you all for
Sedgemoor.
No,
listening.
I actually love it, mate. I mean,
I'm happy with that.
it will be a surname, Sedgemoor. Why not?
I'm happy with that. So thanks all for listening. If you got this far, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. Head over to our Twitters. Don't give us abuse. Enjoy the football, basically. We'll see you again next week. Hopefully, we're actually trying to organise to fit in a sort of 2-episode week coming up. We're going to try and explain a bit more about the crypto, NFT, Web3 side, about what we do and what we're interested in. So more on that definitely to come. But definitely we'll be reviewing the football of this coming week. So that's all to come. Thanks again.
And if you're at Sedgemoor service station, let us know.
Yeah, please do send us a photo of you at Sedgemoor service station. We'd love to see it. Thanks,
See ya.
Sento. Thanks, Sam. Pleasure.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
See you next week.